The brand. I need more brand in my diet.
Brand.
Brandy.
Raisin brand. Oh, brandy. Raisin brand and brandy.
On that note, I'm going to have some more wine.
All right, we ready to go?
Yep.
Synthaholics.
Welcome to Synthaholics. Thank you so much for downloading this episode. Today we are back on Dune. We are many chapters in now. I don't even know what chapters are because they're not numbered.
9 and 10.
9 and 10. Today we have myself, Aaron O'Brien. We have David Duncan.
9 and 10.
We have 9 and 10. And we have the return of Holly Michelle.
How was your
Welcome.
Bene Gesserit training?
Yeah.
Well,
Did
if
you
I
learn-
had
did you learn
been
the
in
voice?
Jesuit training, I don't think I would tell you.
The cocktease
Did you learn-
voice. Oh, that's
Did
what
you
I was,
learn the voice?
The voice.
The voice.
Well, that's what I put in our Twitter, that you were away at Bene Gesserit training.
Oh, too funny.
Well, guys, we are now, like we said before, we're on planet Arrakis, and this time, Paul's supposed to be sleeping again, and he's just not sleeping.
He's an insomniac.
This is the second time he's been just laying in bed and just pretending to be sleeping. So,
I caught Dr. Yue looking at me when I palmed the drink, the medicine and didn't take it.
he's like, General Putin pops.
He felt up my butt crack a couple times.
Yeah. Dr. Yui. He's the Bill Cosby of Dune. So, so Yui gave him some sleeping tablets. Yue, thank you. And he just palmed it. And even when his mom came to check on him real quick, he was just pretending to sleep. So he wasn't really...
loves faking sleep.
Yeah, he doesn't go to sleep. He's like,
He's a curious fellow.
He's a
and
rebellious boy.
Curious
Well,
George.
You shouldn't... I mean, I don't understand why they're drugging him in the first place.
I thought that was weird, too. I mean, he's
Although it could be conditioned because Yue is, well, we know.
he's a traitor.
Exactly. So, it's probably he conditioned him to kind of just trust that.
Right.
Not that it was an untrusting thing, why he didn't take it, but...
Right.
Moving on.
Well, so Paul decides that he's going to just wait the adults out, let them leave, and then he can kind of snoop around the palace a little
Jerk
bit.
off of everything.
Oh, God.
He's a horny 15-year-old boy.
The spice must flow.
Oh, out my dick.
All right. So we get into this huge description about his headboard. It's all carved, and there's fish on it, and you press buttons, and they do weird things, like turn on the lights and stuff. So control ventilation, even change the temperature. So
I need a
somebody had
headboard
lot-
like that.
I know, that'd be pretty cool. Somebody told me they had a headboard with a Guinness tap on it.
They built that shit.
Guinness. It, when they're sleeping in bed, it was like, I need more Guinness.
I woke back up from my drunken stupor. Here's some more Guinness.
There's some more. So, so that we go into a thing about that, and then, so Paul is getting up, and he's kind of just
He
looking
realizes
up.
the opportune moment to actually sneak out of his room to go explore.
He's like, I'm going to go and check out have some fun, get away from these boring adults.
Mm-hmm.
And
He finds some excitement before he even leaves his room.
Yes. So when he's getting up out of bed, what comes sliding out of his headboard is a hunter seeker, which is weird robotic controlled thing that can. What do they say? Get bore up his
It bores into your
column?
skin and just attacks the nearest vital organ.
Yeah, I'm imagining it just like a needle, and it goes into your veins, and it finds the nearest artery, and it.
Right.
It blood
Yeah, it says. It says. This is what the description. It's a ravening silver of metal, a sliver of metal gilded by some nearby hand and eye. It could burrow into moving flesh and chew its way up the nerve channels to the nearest vital organ. That's horrifying.
You don't want to sign up for that?
I don't want to do that.
I don't need my liver. I don't drink that much.
Take my pancreas.
Hey, if it attacks one of your kidneys, you can live with just one kidney.
It sort of reminds me of that thing that they pulled out of Neo in the first Matrix.
Oh yeah. You mean the bug that went to his belly button?
Yeah,
creepy little thing.
So he decides. Paul.
We learned that all children of highborns are trained to know how this thing operates, what it is. It's apparently a common tool for assassination.
They play with them, the inactive ones, as children in their playpens.
Right?
I bet you they
Mobiles
do. Mobiles. Yeah,
they got mobiles, all the different kinds of hunter seekers.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what you have to look forward to when you grow up, son.
Right.
And maybe they do. Maybe they have little mock things of what could happen,
Yeah. So he knew what it was, and he knew he had to hold still and figure out how to take it out, because if he moved, it was going to find him. And then the door opens.
Yes, and who is it, Dave?
He's me, Shut It Maps.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. What you doing? Hey, Pa, are you still sleeping? Can I rub on your butt?
So the hunter seeker goes right towards her, but Paul grabs it, and he even knows to make sure that he grabs
its nose and
because it's slippery at the bottom, because it's got this a suspension field that's going to hold it. Yeah. So he hits when she opens the door, it goes for her. He grabs the opportunity, grabs the hunter seeker, and then smashes it. And
it's pretty cool if you're breaking that thing for me.
Sound a little more humble, Dave. Can you do that?
Yeah. Shut It Mates doesn't do him.
Actually, did you read the chapter?
I did. She's like, well, I guess you can have to owe some water debt to you or something.
Yeah, she was very thankful, and she decides to tell him something she knows because she doesn't want to be in his debt.
Yeah, what did he tell him, Dave?
Your mom wants to see you.
Your mom's looking for you. No, before that.
I don't remember that part. What did she say?
Oh, she basically says, I don't want to have this debt, life debt, because that you saved my life. And she actually, like Holly said, she was very grateful, because he could have just let that go to her and she would have been dead. But he instead saved her life. And basically saying that you there's a traitor.
There's a traitor in your midst.
In your midst, yeah.
She said, it's just, since we've known that for a while, that didn't register to me as new information.
Yeah.
Okay. So she
That's
said,
why I didn't remember that.
He was going to send her away about the drone, and she said, before I do your bidding, manling, I must cleanse the way between us. You've put a water burden on me that I'm not sure I care to support. But we Fremen pay our debts, be they black debts or white debts, and it's known to us that you've a traitor in your midst. Who it is we cannot say, but we're certain sure of it. Mayhap there's the hand guided that flesh cutter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I also Paul kind of knew anyway, because the first chapter, second chapter, lady, the Bene Gesserit mother was like, yeah, your dad's gonna die. So I'm pretty sure they're assuming there's a traitor in their midst.
Well, she told him.
It didn't say there's a traitor. I don't know if he thought of that.
Yes.
No. The mother didn't say there was, but I'm just saying, I'm assuming they're assuming that this is a thing. Since how else would he get killed, or how else do they know he's gonna die?
Well, there could have been a lot. It could have been booby traps. Could have been lots of things that could happen. So
Well, we learn in the next chapter that they think it's a companion or lieutenant.
Yes,
but that's
exactly.
speculation. It's not from the All Mother. It's not from Jessica. It's just some scribblings from an inside person.
Well,
Right,
yeah, I mean,
right.
I understand that, but because the Reverend Mother knows, and because Jessica knows, and Paul knows, I'm assuming they're assuming that it's a traitor.
Right.
Because
exactly.
I mean, that's just it's a lot of political maneuvering in Dune. So I mean, it just that's the logical thing to deduce.
Well, I mean, there's different options there, but anyways, so she gives him that information, and Paul's like trying to process that basically there is a traitor if she's telling the truth, and then she says she wants he has to find his mother, and that she's in the weirding room. So he's like, "What is a weirding room?" And we're going to find out what the weirding room is. So the next chapter, we go to Lady Jessica. She is, after she leaves UA, she's going through the palace, and she comes upon this oval door, and it really goes into depth about this palm thing and how like she knows how to like pick the lock with her palm. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't really pick up on all what the.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it's a palm scanner, and there's a way to get around it, and you put your hand on, but then you press in a certain manner, and then you slide it to the left and shake it to the right, and slam your body down and wind it all around.
She's the original Spice Girl. Slam your body down and wind it all around.
I tell you what you want, really want. I tell you what you really want.
Get out of here, Shadow Mapes. Nobody wants to dance.
You want to see my old floppy boobs dance? Yeah. I'm the real Spice Girl.
Hey, who knows if she has floppy boobs? She could be a very small-chested woman.
She's a very old, small-chested, flabby, yeah.
But we know her blood coagulates very quickly. So.
Right.
Well, her boobs are way smaller since Lady Jessica cut them both off.
She didn't cut them both off.
No, I know.
Hydrating. Anyways, yeah. So she gets into this door, and she finds out there's an airlock. So then there's like the door on the opposite side is got like a wheel, like a valve to open up. Yeah. And there's signs apparently that his men has been through there and kind of like scanned the room for anything that might be dangerous. So it has his like approval, has like a seal or something on the doors, basically knowing that they've been inspected. So yeah. So she opens this airlock, and in there is a giant greenhouse, plants, different all sorts of plants, and a fountain. And the glass has been tinted so the Arrakis sun looks yellow. So she's kind of like, I don't know, in wonderment and kind of freaked out at the same time. It seems like wow, this is like really crazy, because she realizes how much water this room must take. Mm-hmm. And how precious water is. So it's very decadent. So as she's going through this greenhouse area, she comes upon a note, and it's from Margaret Lady Fenring, and the note reads, "To Lady Jessica, may this place give you much pleasure as is given me. Please permit this room to convey a lesson we learned from the same teachers. The proximity of a desirable thing tempts one to overindulgence. On that path lays danger. My kindest wishes, Margaret Lady Fenring." So she knows that Fenring is a Bene Gesserit, so she starts
due
looking
to that phrase at the end.
Yes, and she knows that she's got there's a hidden message within there, and on that, and the keywords are, "on that path lies danger," and so she starts looking for a secret code of dots, sort of like Morse code, I guess, but I'm sure it's not Morse, but it's probably some Bene Gesserit code.
Yeah, like Braille or something.
Mm-hmm. And she starts going through, and she's looking for on the edge of the notepad. She's looking under the paper and everywhere else, where she finally finds it on a leaf that's
hanging over the desk or something.
Right. And
not a desk, but
and this is when she starts. It's a very long message, actually.
Yeah, to
But
be
it
written
said-
on the stem of a palm frond or something.
Exactly. It must be a long plan. So the message reads, "Your son and the Duke are in immediate danger. A bedroom has been designed to attract your son. The H, which means Harkonnen, loaded it with death traps to be discovered, leaving one that may escape detection." And then it goes on to say, "I do not know the exact nature of the menace, but it has something to do with something to do with a bed.
A bed.
The threat to your Duke involves
Defection.
I'm sorry, I just lost my place. It involves defection of a trusted companion or lieutenant. The H plan to give you a gift.
As a gift, yeah.
Gives you as a gift to a minion. To the best of my knowledge, this conservatory is safe. Forgive that I cannot tell more. My sources are few, as my count is not on the pay of the H. In haste, MF." So when all of a sudden, Lady Jessica's freaked out because she knows Paul's in danger, and she's going to go running towards Paul to find out if he's okay. But then Paul jumps through the airlock right then, and he still has the Hunter Seeker in his hand. He hasn't let go of it because he's afraid that still might be active. And so basically they start exchanging information. So Paul
thrusts it in the water to destroy it, and then they start casually discussing what is happening.
Exactly.
Talk about his,
Ruined all that
assassination
water.
attempt.
Yeah, I know, all that poison now is in that water. And one of the guards come, and they come to collect them. And also at the same time, Shadow Mapes comes as well, doesn't she? She shows up again.
Yeah, she does.
Does she? I don't think she shows up after Paul is there, but she did call up to Jessica before she discovered him.
With that, does this happen before Paul, the attempt on Paul, or after?
I assumed that it was while that was happening. So
Maybe
I
Shadet
feel like
Mapes has is a twin, also named Shadet Mapes.
I feel like she was
Shadet Mapes 1 and Shadet Mapes 2.
I feel like she was there right before, both storylines started at the same time. So each chapter started at the same time, but then kind of ran together. But it was weird because it was almost like it should have, in a movie it would have been 5 minutes prior.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I kind of thought happened. This has happened just before everything happened with Paul. So Lady Jessica leaves Paul and Yui and starts walking down and finds this greenhouse conservatory. And that's when the Shadow Mapes finds her. And then she goes to see Paul. Paul takes care of the Hunter Seeker. And then Paul goes to find his mom. So... And then from there, they kind of speculate on who this traitor could be, because Shadow Mapes told Paul, and then obviously Jessica just found this message. And
Paul doesn't actually tell Jessica.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's holding it back
weird?
the whole time. Yeah, he's holding it back. It's really odd. Why would you just tell your moms?
Yeah.
It's odd that he holds a lot of things back.
What if my mom's trying to kill me?
No, I think I just think he's curious.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be more I think I should tell somebody this? It's weird. It's an odd
This
thing.
would have been the perfect time.
Yeah.
Say, well, Mapes just told me this, but he didn't even know who she was. So maybe he needed more time to consider what this random person had said.
Right.
This housekeeper.
Right. The housekeeper. And then also the guards say that they did find the person operating this, but I think he said that we were too rough with them, so obviously they just killed him. And they think it was somebody from House Atreides. It wasn't it was somebody that was part of the guard or part of the soldiers there. No, I'm sorry, it was a Fremen. I'm sorry.
He was a Fremen, and he was in a clay pot.
Yeah. Very weird.
That's just how the Fremen roll.
He was in there for months, apparently, and I'm just they can live without water. And if he's in a
still suit,
he could drink his own water and stay in there for
the Iraqi and Oompa Loompas.
He didn't have to deal with the sun at all.
Okay, I'm so hungry.
Right?
Can I get a burger?
He had Elven
My
bread.
thigh pad doo-doo water.
Elven bread. More lambus bread. And and then the guards come to take Paul to the Duke. So, and that's where we're kind of end this chapter.
Bring me before the Duke.
So so very interesting. Obviously, the attempt on Paul's life, and this first time we've really seen any violence towards the family with the Harkonnens. And still, like, a lot of, like, cloak and dagger espionage going on, you know, with Lady Jessica finding notes and stuff like that. So it's all very interesting. Cool stuff. Any other thoughts about these 2 chapters? I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We're just building toward the rising action. It's still going to be building toward, because I'm much further than this listening to the book, and, like, it's still kind of setting things up. It sets things up for a while, still.
Oh, yeah. Book 1 goes for a while, and it's still a lot set up, yeah.
I really like that at this point we're starting to see the drought and how at least the characters that we are reading from their point of view, they're aware of it and they are cognizant of it. And that's really, I mean, not a whole lot happens in these whole 2 chapters. Probably takes like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
If you were to convey, like if you were to reenact, it would be like 4 minutes long. It wouldn't be very long at all.
Right.
So not a whole lot happens. But it gives you, you know, again, you see he's very astute. He is very aware. And Jessica, the Lady Jessica, it brings up things about, you know, oh, well, wow. Well, you know, he married his lady. Like,
yeah, I know. That's
and
still
she's a little
out
bitter about it.
Yeah. She's still bitter about that. Why can't he marry me? Yeah.
So like there is a little bit of like a flash of anger we get to see out of her. I don't know. It's fun. I liked the chapters, and I don't really have too much to say other than that because not a whole lot happened. I think it's cool the way they set up this bed to mimic, you know, fish, water. Obviously, they knew they were coming from a planet that was abundant of water, and
right, exactly.
So, like, the room was designed to attract Paul, so it had all these gadgets and crannies. You know, the closet
it has
was
gadgets and gizmos aplenty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was just like I liked that he set it up in such a way that it was just clever.
Yeah, no, it was very there to entice a 15-year-old kid to be like, "Ooh, that's cool." So yeah. Anything from you, Dave?
Yeah, it's just pretty straightforward. A couple episodes. I'm just glad Shout Out Mapes is still around, you know. Yeah, had the Cartman.
Hey, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember because it's been a while since I read this, but doesn't Lady Jessica decide to get rid of that conservatory later on, like in a couple of chapters? Does she give an order about that? I sort of remember.
They had to leave the house.
Well, yeah,
I don't remember because I mean I'm a couple of chapters ahead where they've like done the first Spice expedition and they saw the worm sign and then Duncan Idaho's drunk and she's yelling. That's when I stopped. That's it was just right after that, I think.
Okay,
I don't think she's given the order yet.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I sort of remember her giving that order. It's been a while, so. It's not a huge deal. It's just like something she kind of because she realizes that symbolizes a lot of water, and even the Shadow Mapes when she showed up, she kind of looked at that place with disdain.
Yeah,
that she was like,
I mean,
you're gonna throw all this like people could be like this could keep people alive.
I'm literally like 3 pages from book 2, and I don't remember her.
I could be wrong
having
about
it destroyed, but. You know, there's a whole lot of shit that's going to go down about people accusing people and distrust and having to get out of the home. And so maybe she planned to, but I just don't remember that happened.
Let's not bicker and argue about who killed who.
Who shut down who. Yes, cool stuff. So, yeah, and then next chapter we'll get in with the Duke. and what's going on with him, and then meeting with the Duke's men and Howit's plans and everything that for running Arrakis. So
or Man in Tights.
Men in Tights, exactly. So
tight still suits.
Well, guys, I hope you're enjoying this. We're having fun talking about Dune, and there'll be many more chapters to go. So hopefully you've picked up your copy of Dune and you can read along with us and enjoy our basically book club and talking about the whole book. So come back next week and we'll talk about more spicy stories from Dune.
11 and 12.
Yeah, I got to start numbering these things. I can't remember.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they should have numbered them.
I mean, Frank Herbert probably did not anticipate that there was going to be a podcast going over 2 episodes at a time. Or
probably wouldn't even know he probably didn't even know what a podcast was.
No. So, I mean, it's not ideal for what we're doing. But as far as book 1, book 2, book 3, I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be numbered, but for a book that has a glossary and index in the back, there's just no room for, here's an index of chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to put a 1 in front of the chapter, a 2 in front of the next chapter. Takes too much forethought.
These guys, these crippled hands from arthritis have typed enough. Don't ask me to type anymore.
He's too busy typing spoilers at the front of every chapter instead of typing like the number or what chapter it is.
I don't think they're spoilers. Hold on one second.
I mean, there's stuff that happens later on.
Let's grab Heretics of Dune, which is
book 64.
No, it's like book 4 or 5. Let's see if these ones are numbered. Nope.
Nope. This is how he rolls.
All right.
No chapters for us.
Well, I think we'll probably do at least the first 3 Dune books, maybe. I don't know if we're going to go too much further than that.
Well, let's see how this all goes.
See how people like
we
it.
might want to change up a book once in a while, but we'll see where we're all at. All right, guys. Well, if you have different thoughts, if you have corrections or something you want to tell us more, you can always contact us at our Facebook page at Facebook.com/groups/Synthaholics. You can contact us there. If you want to email us and you want us to read your email on the episode, we can do that. Just give us your permission. You can email us at synthaholics@yahoo.com. You can also tweet us at Synthaholic Duo. And if this show is something you feel like you want to support, please go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Synthaholics, and you can donate there. We appreciate it. All right, guys, until next week, the spice must flow.
Well, McCoy, my boy, come mix me a drink. Before the night's over, I'll puke in the sink, and we'll cry till we laugh, and we'll both shit our pants. You're the best drinking friend I ever had.
Flow, baby, flow. Disco and Spice-O.
These are funny.
Yeah. All right.
Dune.